Hi everybody, my name is Amanda Tenhoff and I will be speaking to you today about our paper entitled Development of an Open Access Library of Pediatric Congenital Heart Diseases and Treatments, a tutorial on the Atlas of Human Cardiac Anatomy. Each year in the United States, 1 in 100 births are of newborns with one or more congenital heart defect, or CHD. CHDs are anatomical irregularities within the heart that are present at birth. Of those 40,000 newborns affected with CHDs, 1 in 4 have what is classified as a critical CHD, meaning that they will require a corrective procedure within 1 year after birth. These critical cases are often very complex with highly individualized presentation. Critical CHDs can often be fatal. Additionally, the surgical intervention within the first year after birth is often the first in a set of multiple staged procedures. Sometimes these procedures are meant only to stabilize the patient and prolong life until a heart transplant becomes available. Due to the complexities and associated risks with treating these CHDs, a lot of benefit can be found in 3D modeling, printing, and virtual reality for gaining specific anatomical insights into these critical CHDs and each case's unique presentation. Additionally, de-identified case information coupled with these detailed models can serve as an amazing resource in the form of an online database of congenital heart defect presentations. In order to create this database, there are multiple steps on both the engineering and the clinical sides. Here, we detail the workflow on the engineering side of the project. First, clinical imaging of the patient is obtained. Shown here is a cropped contrast CT scan of a young patient exhibiting tetralogy of Fallot with major aortopulmonary collateral arteries and pulmonary atresia. These images are imported into materialized mimic software, at which point the blood volume is hand segmented from the surrounding tissue. Blood volume models tend to be preferred over tissue models for these complex cases to ensure that the intricacies of the anatomy are not lost when making the model. Next, this segmented blood volume model is imported as an STL file into materialized 3-matic, at which point it is cleaned and prepared for printing or virtual reality. This process involves smoothing the model, creating a shell around the blood volume, and trimming the vessels. Perhaps most importantly, several finalized versions are created with different types of windows cut out of the model to be able to easily look inside. This shelled and windowed model is what gets printed and imported into VR, because the hollow interior aids in visualization of the anatomy, particularly of the defect of interest. These detailed models, along with de-identified case specifics and information about the disease itself, are then able to be imported into an online database with patient consent. This database is accessible to all so that anyone can learn about congenital heart disease. This is thought to be particularly useful for training and education purposes for those in the medical field. Overall, significant value has been demonstrated in pre-surgical 3D modeling for the treatment of congenital heart diseases. Shown here are 3 models we have made for pre-surgical planning and 2 VR scenes created for educational purposes. The image in the upper left shows 2 3D prints made for a case of left atrial appendage aneurysm, one hollow with a window into the aneurysm at 130% scale, and one solid at 100% scale. The image in the middle is of the final computer model created in 3-matic for a case of circumflex aorta. The model was printed to include the trachea and the spine in that region to illustrate the spatial relation between these structures. The image in the lower right corner is of a final computer model created in 3-matic for a case of bilateral branched pulmonary artery stenosis. Several models were created showing the relationship between the anatomy and the implanted stent, and the prints of these various models were provided to the care team for procedural planning. In the upper right corner is a screenshot from a virtual reality scene featuring a dilated aorta. The user can navigate through the separately segmented left or red and right or blue regions of this model to better understand the internal anatomy for this defect. Lastly, the lower left image shows lab members trying out the virtual reality system incorporated with anaglyphs, such that viewers wearing 3D glasses can still experience the immersive nature of VR without wearing the VR headset, which would be ideal for classroom education. Incorporating all of these educational resources into an open access online database as an extension of the Atlas of Human Cardiac Anatomy can lead to future advancements in surgical sciences and patient-specific healthcare. The growth of this project involves incorporation of computational modeling of fluid flow dynamics and pre- and post-procedural comparisons, as well as further refining these models in virtual reality scenes for optimal functionality and education. And with that, thank you so much for your time today. And none of this work would have been possible if not for the research experts of the Visible Heart Laboratories and the clinical experts from the University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital. Shown also is a QR code for the Atlas of Human Cardiac Anatomy discussed throughout this presentation. Thank you again for listening today.